All right, we promised you Nolan Arenado. We are delivering Nolan Arenado.
Starting 9 in the house
For the fourth time? Four-timer?
Damn, son.
4. You're an elite company. I feel like it's you and Yelich. Who else has even come close?
That's it. Like 4 and 5, we're starting to flirt with correspondent territory. You're no longer a guest. You're like your borderline correspondent. I'm not paying you. Fuck that. Yeah. This is going to be a correspondent.
Yeah.
An honor.
And usually it's like, we'll introduce the guest and we'll say player X from team Y. Have you gotten used to / does it still sound weird when you hear your name next to St. Louis Cardinal versus Colorado Rocky?
No, not anymore. I've heard it a lot lately. So the color is going to take some time for sure.
But you love those unis.
Yeah, those unis are sweet. They do look good. So I'm pretty fired up. But I was running in red cleats last week when I was training, and it was a little weird looking down and having red cleats on.
Yeah, that's the image. That's the weird thing. Like I wore one uniform and not very long. But when you are so like Nolan Arenado is just ingrained like purple. I think purple. And for you seeing that, what sort of emotion? Because look, it's cliche to go, yeah, look, it felt weird, whatever. But there's an emotion, man, because you're not just some dude changing fucking teams, right? You're a guy,
franchise player going to a new franchise.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was weird for sure. It didn't hit me until, honestly, it probably didn't hit me until I got in a group text with the new team. And I was like, wow, these are all new guys, this is the new group. But they've been awesome so far. And, but it is, it was definitely different. There's some guys, I have some good friends on that team. So it's been weird. It has been a little bit emotional. You're kind of like a little thrown off, I'm in Florida now, or usually I'm in Scottsdale.
Mm-hmm. All those things sucks. Let's just call a spade here. That sucks.
Yeah, we had a small funeral for the excitement that is going to AZ for spring training. We put that one to bed for you, and we're praying for you out there in Florida.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first time I've been here so far. Jupiter's been pretty cool, but it is different so far. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, different's a word, I guess, that you could use. I saw an interview that you did post trade where someone asked you like if you could trade talents with a player for one day. Do you remember which player you picked?
I think I might have said probably Mookie, right?
You did, yeah, you did. Yeah. You did. So if you're like, Mookie is a guy that only knew one team and switched teams. And now you're a guy, and we're talking about franchise player types. Like, I know that there are, we won't need to name any names, but there are players that we've had on this podcast where you can tell that they were just born with baseball talent, but they're not baseball fans. They don't necessarily know the history of the game. You know the history of the game. So there's a couple different things I want to ask you. First, how cool is it that Ozzie Smith is a dude that's like shouting you out, being like, we got the dude, like now we go, like he's hyping you up. Like, that's cool. And then another thing too, when you're growing up as a kid, and you have all this baseball talent, you become a big leaguer, you become an all-star, you become MVP caliber, platinum gloves, gold gloves. And I know that part of it, like when you're in the moment, the business side can seem frustrating, like being involved in trade rumors. But was there any part of you that was like, this is kind of cool? I mean, like like going from like being like a baseball fan to like, hey, like I'm a dude that's like, I'm in trade rumors right now. And I know that whatever team I go to, those fans are going to be pretty fucking excited that I'm here.
Yeah. Well, first, Ozzie Smith, man, what a man. Like, every time I've gone to the Gold Glove ceremony and gone there and had the trophy, Ozzie Smith is always there. And he's always like smiling, having a great time, super welcoming. Like the way he talks to you, it feels like he knows you for a long time. So to hear him talk about you, the Wizard, it's pretty remarkable feeling.
Yeah.
As far as his trade rumors and all that, it's kind of weird because some of the things are true and then some aren't, so when you see, sometimes you kind of know that there's certain things that aren't true that people are saying, but then toward the end, you could tell like some of them, like it's kind of leaking out. People are starting to really figure out that this is going to happen. And some people figured it out before, me basically and my family. So it was kind of interesting there, but that's part of it. That's part of the game now and how it all comes out. But, I appreciate both teams for trying to keep it under wraps the best they could. Yeah, man, it's cool. I mean, like I said, I'm happy to join this club. Obviously, I waived my no trade. There's a reason why I did that. It's because I really believe in this group. So I was excited for it to finally happen.
All things are said and done now. It is what it is, as they say. Are you happy with the legacy left in Colorado by you? I'm not asking what you think about the fans, because I'll tell you what the fans think. Jared will tell you what the fans think. We'll tell you what we think. What do you feel? How do you feel? Is it business left unattended, or do you feel like you've given everything you could have possibly given and you are okay with that?
Well, it's funny you say that, because that's something that definitely went through my head when the trade first happened. But, 8 years, when I look back at my 8 years there, I look back and I can say that, man, I did the best I could when I was there. Obviously, the cliche of of course, I wanted to win more, and I wanted to I wanted to get to the playoffs more. I only went to the playoffs, twice, and so of course, the 8 years playoff twice, you wanted to do it a lot more than that. And so I think about those things. Maybe if I could have done a better job in certain areas, but those 8 years were pretty special. I feel like I did some great things. I think I left my mark. And I think the fans will always appreciate what I did. Obviously, you're gonna have some that are gonna be disappointed, but at the same time, I feel like I left my mark the best I could, and I have no regrets. That's for sure.
No doubt. I mean, like if you finish your career there, we're talking like number retirement type stuff, and like I guess I want to know now if you're at peace with everything, because the last time that we saw you was in spring last year, and there were trade rumors then. I mean, the first time that you came on the podcast, you signed an extension the next day. Still pissed about you for that. You signed the extension, so we think Rocky for life, and within a year, now we're talking trade rumors, and it's like, all right, well, what the fuck? So now you're in trade rumors, and then it takes another year after that for the deal to finally be completed. But even after the trade, you still hold the opt-out for after 2021, and now you have one after 2022. So you're going to be asked about the opt-outs. So like, are you just putting that out of your head and just focusing on playing baseball, or is there a part of you where it's like, all right, I signed the extension, now I can take a deep breath. Okay, now I'm in trade rumors. Now I'm in trade rumors again. Now I've been traded. Now I have an opt-out. But even if I don't opt out this year, I have an opt-out after that year. People, like, they're going to be asking you forever. Like, do you even pay any attention to that?
No. I mean, I think, I can't tell you for sure, but there's a very high chance I will not be opting out, very, very high. I didn't come here to do that. I think that's part of the deal. That was part of how we made the contract and how we made it look right and put those things in there. But I plan on being a Cardinal for the rest of the way out. That's my goal. Right. I think I said that in Colorado, and so I can see why people could probably question it, but I really believe this is where I want to be. But yeah, the trade rumors and all that, it's cool to feel wanted as far as teams, like, they appreciate you and they want you, but at the same time, that's not what I want to be. I don't want to be a player that's constantly getting traded. I want to be a player that can leave my mark wherever team I play with and have that extended for a long time.
Well, I think it's safe to say, and you're not the type of dude to say it, and that's why Jared and I are the dudes that we are, because we'll say it. You not being in a Colorado Rocky uniform has very little to almost nothing to do with you, the player. You showed up, you did the work. That's all that you as a guy can do. And to want to win, to want more, to expect more out of people that you've given everything to, you are not wrong for that. That is not a selfish attitude. None of that. And that is not a vibe that anybody, that is not a vibe that anybody ever would ever get from you. So not that you would ever think that or concern yourself with that shit, but brother, let me tell you right now, that's not a vibe you ever have to worry about floating around. Mm-hmm. That being said, looking forward to St. Louis, and Jared kind of touched on it, knowing how excited the fans are. Is there anything that excites you about chapter 2 of your career, being a part of such a storied franchise with some of the history that's around that, and knowing, you know what, I've made the mark that I did in Colorado, and there will be forever a measuring stick named Nolan Arenado at the hot corner there. You get to do that again in another storied franchise. How fucking exciting is that?
Well, it's extremely exciting, and I appreciate what you said, before that question. But I think absolutely, I would love to do the same things I did in Colorado. That's going to be a tough task, because I feel like those things I did, they're exciting and they're special. Yeah, but listen, I'm here to help this team win. The goal is to win. This organization, I think I saw something like, Yadi's been in the big leagues for like 18 years or 17 years, and he's been in the playoffs 11 out of those 17 or something. Like,
ridiculous.
that's insane to think about, and it just shows you this organization just really cares about winning. Even the way we've talked to certain them, it's just been great to hear some of the things they've said to me and what their plan is. But no, I mean, the goal is to help this team win as many games as I can. And I just want to get to the playoffs, win a division, and do the little things. But no, I mean, I expect to go out there, do my thing, be me. And I think the fans in St. Louis and the team are going to appreciate that.
So we just wrapped up an interview with Jameson Taillon, who's now at the Yankees. And one of the questions that I asked him was, like, what do you want Yankee fans to know about you that maybe didn't pay attention to National League Baseball? But with you, I'm going to take it from here. Like there were dudes that, because I kept in touch with like a lot of dudes that were like left spring training during quarantine, and some of them, like literally one, he was like a top player, told me, I haven't picked up a bat since we were told to go home for spring training. You were training like World Series Game 7 was tomorrow during a time period that you didn't know when the next game was going to be played. You didn't know when spring training was going to pick up again. Like, that's the competitor that you are. So like, how do you think like that attitude is going to mesh with a team like the Cardinals, where they have this, I mean, besides the Yankees, most championships in Major League Baseball? Like, that's a pretty high standard to live up to. And I think that you fit in perfectly with that group.
Yeah, it's funny. I go back and forth. There's times where I wish I didn't work so hard during quarantine. I just didn't know when we're going to come back. I wish I would have had a day so I would have been able to plan it better. But I was just so paranoid about not being ready that I think it probably hurt me a little bit last year as far as physically and mentally went. But, I think this team, this group is going to probably tell me to slow down. Like, dude, listen, we got, like, we've been here before. We know how to win. Like, just, that's why I'm really happy about joining. They want me to hop on their back. Don't worry, we'll help. We'll show you how to win. This is how we do it. That's why I'm really excited, to see, hey man, these guys know how to win. Watch Yachty, watch these guys carry themselves, because they've been there before. They've been there and done it, and they want to continue to do it. So I'm just gonna, honestly, I feel like a young player again, where I could just watch these guys work, watch the way this organization goes about it, and then, but I believe my work ethic, and I believe, my care for the team and winning. I think they're gonna love that. I think I fit in with this group.
There's no doubt you fit in. There's no, you fit on a ball team on Mars if they got one playing out there. The lineup that you were at home with in Colorado, the guys ahead of you, the guys behind you, and what you represented there could be a little different in St. Louis, because the top of that lineup, you got Chucky Black, you got Trevor Story, some absolute boppers, some bangers. And I'm not taking shit away from anybody in that St. Louis lineup, because you got Goldie, you got Edmund, you got guys around at the top as well. They can roll the pole. Do you feel any sense of needing to do more? And that's a battle that you have with yourself as a player when things aren't going well. Offensively, I've got to make that extra special play. Defensively, flip side, I've got to get that big knock. I just kicked the ball. Do you feel any of that sort of pressure coming over being the player you are? Or you just kind of touched on it, like, they're going to kind of show me how to win. I just got to show up and be Nolan Arenado, which is really fucking awesome for Cardinals players. And that's all you got to do. Like, no pressure. Is that the vibe?
Yeah. I mean, you know how it is. You put the pressure on yourself. I want to go out and perform. I'll put the pressure on myself. I know those guys, and this team won't do that. They won't put the pressure on me to make sure I got to go out there and do all these things. But, as a player, you want to perform. I say I want to win, but at the end of the day, we all want to perform. Deep down, when you're winning and you stink, you're like, well, I want to be a part of the why we're winning. Of course, like, that's human, but I think I definitely want to do my part. I want to play a factor, and that's why they brought me there. But like I said, I just got to be me. That's the great thing about this group, is that in Colorado, all they asked for me to be was be me, and now the Cardinals are the same thing. Just be you. We don't need any more than that. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty good feeling. So like you said, we're surrounded by good baseball players. There's some good players on this team with some really good arms, some health. People are coming back. So I really like this group, but there's no doubt that offensively we gotta be better.
So Stu was the guy that would hit you grounders in Colorado, right? So how soon do you build the relationship with Stu 2.0? Like, do you go in day one and say, this is what I like to work on? Like, I like to go to my right. I like to go to my left. I like to work on like the bunt play. I like to work on pop-ups that are, 10 feet behind me. Like, how soon do you build that relationship and kind of lay out, like, this is what I work on a day-to-day basis as a 4-time platinum clubber?
Yeah. Well, Yeah, Stu number one was really good for me because he was not afraid. He coached me. He wasn't afraid to coach me regardless of the awards I have or my name. And I made sure I told the infield coach here to push me and can coach me up and push me. Like I don't, sometimes people might be afraid to tell you like what to do, but I like being told, hey, like let's go, let's work, let's get after it. I like that. As you get older.
Oh, there you go. I was gonna say you covered the mic for a second.
Oh, my. Yeah, you want to be coachable. The last thing you want to do is be uncoachable, and you don't want to be resentful. So, I told them, hey, coach me up, push me, like don't let me slack, like all those little things. Everyone needs that little kick in the butt, and I need it just as much as anyone also.
And I know that like if you've listened to any of the interviews that we've done with Nolan before, you know that he's a humble guy. But at this point, I mentioned the 4 platinum gloves. You've got 8 gold ones. At this point, is it like if you don't win the platinum, you look at like a gold glove as almost like a step down where it's like, it's kind of like the bronze. Like I want the gold. Like give me the platinum. Like what is this? Like is that the bar that you've set for yourself like mentally?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm not disappointed if I win a gold glove and I don't win the platinum. Don't get me wrong. I'm just as happy, but for sure. I mean, you don't want to give things up. I remember when I first won it, the last thing I ever did, I never want to give it up, and so far I haven't. So I got to continue. I got to try to continue to do that. As I get older, it's going to be harder, but for sure. I mean, I never want to give it up. I remember my rookie year, in 2013, I think Machado won the gold glove or the platinum glove in the American League. And I was like, man, he got one. I want to get one. Like, I thought I was as good as I want to get one. But so, I definitely want to continue to get it. It took me a couple of years after that year to finally get it, but thank God I did. But no, man, you want to keep going.
Yeah.
You're looking at that lineup and you're looking at the names in that lineup and you're a meat and potatoes guy. All right. You're a 2-3-4, 3-4-5. You're going to be in that neighborhood. Do you want to be in the house in front of Paul Goldschmidt or do you want to be in the house behind Paul Goldschmidt? Where do you want to live, Nolan?
Oh man, that's a great question. I mean, either one is pretty nice, if you hit in front of him, but Goldie's he probably works his at bats a little bit better than me. I'm a little more aggressive, so I wouldn't mind having him in front of me just because he's probably gonna get on base just a tad more than me, but I can drive him in. But regardless, either one I'm cool with. There's some guys I know how to work at bats here, so. But I don't know, man. Either one I think I'm gonna be okay with.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
You'll be just fine. I heard you once talking about like defensive drills where like you've made a name for yourself going to your right, throwing like with your weight shifted, throwing from your knee. I saw you. I can't remember what year it was.
Throwing from the mezzanine.
Yeah, you made a diving play to your left, knocked the ball down. It skipped out, but you grabbed it with your hand and basically threw the guy out on the fly, like laying down. Like what's like the craziest play that you've practiced? Like I know that because if you're going back to your high school days where you're throwing from your knee from the right field line, like have you ever practiced making throws laying down flat?
I have. It was kind of embarrassing. I've had practice from laying down, like popping up on a knee and throwing. And I remember my brother was just telling me, he's like, dude, you look so stupid doing this. Like, stop doing it. Just let the instincts take over,
Yeah.
And he was probably right. I probably should just focus on the routine play. Just make the routine play and then let those just hopefully happen.
No, you got to trade for that. That's such a, like, it's tongue in cheek to laugh at that shit. But bro, you know exactly what I know. It's called extraordinary because a lot of people are okay with doing the ordinary. To practice the extraordinary, that's why the shit looks seamless. That's why you make it look ridiculous. And we joke about, like, I can imagine this conversation with your guy in St. Louis. He's going to look at you and go, all right, go like third row, fourth section over left field. Like, why? Well, because that's where you're going to end up catching shit, Nolan, and throwing people out from. So we're going to work on that. All right. You want me to hit your ground balls like some kid in high school, or wasting our time? So, but there's a method to that madness. You're not just out there taking ground balls, throwing shit off your stomach like an asshole for no reason. Yeah. You plan on being in that spot and knowing what to do with it.
Absolutely. For sure.
I love it.
Literally insane. Like literally insane. Like I can like picture you like laying down, like making practice throws from your literal back position, which is absolutely insane. Another thing that Cardinals fans may not know about you, maybe they do. You're very clutch. Like, I don't think that you get enough, like everyone talks about like clutch players of all time. Pujols was one of those guys, Cardinal legend. David Ortiz, one of those guys. I know that you were big on listening and watching the Red Sox Yankee rivalry from the early 2000s. You have a handful of walk-off hits, some homers. Do you have a favorite walk-off memory?
Probably the cycle, when I hit for the cycle.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so slow, man. So for me I still can't believe I hit for the cycle. I still can't believe it to this day that I did that. So yeah, probably the cycle, that walk-off was pretty special. And it was in 2017. It was the first year we made the playoffs, and I don't know how long. And it was just such a fun year. And we beat the Giants, and the Giants are always winning World Series, and they're always a problem. So it was fun.
Yeah.
If you could take one of your memories that you have as a Colorado Rocky and package that and give that to the fans as your example of how much you loved them and how much you appreciated them, is there a moment, is there a play, a stretch of a season, a conversation? Is there anything that you can give the fans to chew on, to let them know, you know what, man, I knew how much he loved us. I knew how much he loved us. And it feels so good to hear, Nolan. Thank you. And it's something that they'll be able to let you go with, like, it's our boy. It's never.
I mean, it has to be the bloody face. It has to be like you
so
gave your blood, sweat, and tears to that organization.
Just
Yeah, for sure. Just the fans were all riled up. They stayed after the game to hear my press interview. That stretch, 16 to 17, that 2-year stretch would probably be the year I'd package up for them. In 16, I remember I told Walt, like, listen, I want to play 160 games. I've never done it. I want to get the 1-6 right in front of my name if I can. And he's like, all right. And I was scuffling too, because he was like, dude, I need to give you a day because you look awful right now. And I'm like, I know, man, but I just need to play 10 more games so I can get the 6 in front of my name. Like, just let me do it. And he's like, all right. But 16 to 17, those 2 years, I would probably package and give it to him, because it was 2 of the most fun years I've had. And obviously making the playoffs in 17, I know they were super proud, and that was a great time.
Yeah. Do you have a relationship with Schilt at all? I know that you played against him a lot in the minors, right?
Yeah. I played against. He was a Springfield AA manager when I was in Tulsa.
Yeah. Like you saw him like 30 times a year. So did you build a relationship with him back then? Like, what's that like right now?
I was always talking to him, and I was always chewing his ear off, and his team was sick, man. They had Trevor Rosenthal, Michael Wacha, Kevin Segrist, Seth Manis, Colton Wong, Greg Garcia, Oscar Taveras. I mean, this team was stacked, dude. And I was like, dude, like, is this like, what is this team? Like, and everyone, and Carlos Martinez ended up showing up in the second half. It was like,
oh my
insane.
God.
And I was like, dude, and the whole team got called up. Like, they all got called up, and I was like, this is crazy. And I just always talking about how good they were. And he was always great. He's always, I never took a day off against them, because I always wanted to like try to beat them. And so once he became the manager in St. Louis, I made sure to like go say hi to him and show my respect and tell him, hey, I'm proud of, congratulations. Because I know he was grinding in the minors to get there. So to see that he finally made it was pretty cool. So I've been talking to him, and he's laid back, and I'm really excited to play for him.
What's the one thing that you want to check out at Busch Stadium? What's the one conversation you want to have? Jared mentioned Ozzy. I mean, fuck, anybody shows up at the ballpark and Ozzy's there, everybody would love to talk to that dude. You're going to have those opportunities. But as far as taking in the history of the organization, we were talking to Tyon, like we said, and I was giving him shit for wearing his camera around his neck and going to Monument Park and snapping photos of all the statues and shit. Like, get over it, guy. You're going to be there for a while. Yeah. What are you excited about taking in that you might not have had the opportunity to do so in previous trips?
Well, man, I don't know. It's gonna be fun playing in that ballpark. That fan base is awesome. They show love to everyone. It's really great. I really want to go to center field, sit on the lawn, and just imagine David Freese hitting that walk-off bomb in Game 6 would be pretty badass.
Yeah,
it's got to be pretty wild. Just like, man, I remember watching that, and then Joe Buck, announcing it. So that'd be pretty cool to go out there, check that out. But Ballpark Village is a great area. But yeah, David Freese's homer, man, that'd be cool to just sit there and be like, man, I can't believe this guy hit this out here.
So that place must have been absolute banana land.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of answer I'm going to get here, but I know that you're a fierce competitor, and is there going to be any type of extra motivation when you go back to Colorado or when the Rockies come to St. Louis? Because it kind of reminds me of that scene in Moneyball when they're talking to David Justice and like they're paying you to play against them. Like the Rockies threw in 50. They're basically paying your salary for the next 2 years to play against them. Like, is there a part of you where it's like, yeah, like I want to show you like what you gave up?
Man, I don't know. Maybe ask me that when we get closer to it, but
translation, fuck yeah.
Yeah, ask me when we get closer to it. We'll see. But no, I mean, it's gonna be. It's like, I don't know, man. I mean, Dallas, you would know, like, I hate facing people that you're friends with or like you're close with.
Sure.
Like, I never like, I don't like, just, I don't want to like you, like, just, you know,
Right.
So that part's going to be tough, you know, because I like all those guys over there and they all, like, I love all of them. So that part's going to be weird, but, you know, of course, you know, you want to go out there and perform and do your thing. And it would be cool to do it in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You get one thing. It's food. It's going to be food because it was food for Jameson, so it's food for you as well. You get one meal, one food item that you get to take with you from Colorado to St. Louis with you. And this is going to be with you each and every day whenever you want it. You get to have this. What is that item that you're taking with you from Colorado to St. Louis?
Wow.
Restaurant,
man.
could be a fine dining establishment. Oh, no, shit. It's your world, right, brother. Yeah.
So Colorado Snarf Sandwiches. I don't know if you guys ever been there.
No.
It's a great sandwich place right there in downtown. Snarf Sandwiches, Sweet Cow
Elway's
Ice Cream.
Steakhouse.
Yeah, and then Elway's is obviously one. Elway's, Snarf Sandwiches, Sweet Cow Ice Cream, and then Matsuhisa out there on Cherry Creek.
Is that the sushi spot?
Yeah, that's a sushi spot.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in Denver in the summer of 2019, and I hit him up. I was like, "Where's a good place to like get a steak?" And he's just like, "Yeah, go to Elway's." I look at the menu; it's like $600 for a steak. I was like, "Dude, not all of us make $300 million."
Bro, you got that pin money, Carabas. Let's go, baby.
We're out here on blogger contracts right now, so I'll go to a nice little dive bar.
Yeah, my bad on that one.
Still haven't checked it out. Maybe I'll circle back.
I think Nolan Arenado ordered a meal for me here because there's no fucking way I can pay for this.
Yeah, he said he's got a tab. He said he's good for it. So
yeah, that was my bad right there.
It's gonna be weird. I don't know, like based on like the state or the ballpark in terms of what the capacity is gonna be for this year. But even if there is like 20%, like what will it mean for you? Even let's just say it's 20% for the sake of the question. You go back to Coors and you get that standing ovation from the fans that are allowed to be there. Like, what will that mean for you?
Well, it'll mean everything. You know, I think, like I said, you know, the goal was to make them proud. And I think, I've never gotten a standing ovation before. So you're
going to get one in St. Louis before you even take an AB.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said they sold tickets and let people file into the stadium so they can announce the signing for you. And
yeah.
You missed it.
That'd be great. I've never gotten one before. So obviously it'd be great to get one in Colorado. And listen, like I said, man, like Colorado's got a special place for me and my family. My whole family loves Colorado. We love the place. We love the fans. You know, I'll be very thankful for them. And like I said, the goal was to make, you know, I just try to make them proud, enjoy coming to the game. So obviously I think they'll be proud of me too. So that'd be a great feeling.
No doubt. No doubt.
I need to ask this question because it bothers me. The Coors Field narrative. How excited are you to put that to bed? Where it's like, oh yeah, no, he hits for power and it's Coors Field and this and that. It's like, have you seen this dude hit on the road before? Like he hits mammoth homers. It doesn't matter where he goes. Like, how excited are you to be like, all right, you can't play that card anymore?
Well, yeah, I'm excited for that. You know, I think I'm excited for how I'm going to feel just being out of Denver as far as like health and like energy and all that stuff. You know, playing in altitude is not easy. So I feel like I'm going to feel a little bit fresher. And, you know, St. Louis is a big ballpark, but, you know, I know the rest of the division's good places to hit. But yeah, I'm excited to not have to hear those things no more. If I go out and be myself, I can prove to people that, you know, I am who I am. And I think everyone just be like, he just did what he does. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited not to have to hear about it anymore.
That's God. Because the one thing, right? Thank fucking God. Because the one thing that I thought about is like instantly I thought to myself, bro, This means the smorgasbord of breaking balls that you're going to be facing, that's going to look a lot more similar than it's ever looked in your lifetime. You're going to see breaking balls on a more consistent basis, not meaning with more frequency, but they're going to look more similar to you on a consistent basis than they ever have before. Because you're not splitting up half of those at fucking 5,000 feet with little to no depth and tilt. You're getting a steady stream of very like-minded breaking balls. And that was one of the things that got me really excited about shutting this narrative down. Was I wonder if people are thinking about that. It's not about him hitting in another ballpark or hitting at sea level. It's about his visual, what he is going to be seeing consistently. Is there anything to that? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, no, for sure. That's definitely gone through my head. There's times where we would go on the road to San Fran and face, they're good pitchers, but like some of their breaking balls, I'd be like, man, I thought I was all over it, and you're not. And then you go to LA and you're like, man, like Kershaw's breaking ball, it looks insane. It's like going over, it's basically still going over the lights, but it looked like it was going over the lights. We're like, holy, and then it come down and no, you can't even hit it. So no, he's an exception because his curveball is really good. But my point is that they all won't look so different, which is great. My goal, hopefully I just got to lay off them. And then when they make a mistake, I make them pay. So
that's it.
Who was the coolest person like to get a text from after the trade? Like, it doesn't have to be like a current Cardinal teammate, just someone that reached out that was happy for you.
Man, I don't know. I've had a former ball player say some great things. Ellis Burks, former Red Sox, actually.
Yeah, 2004 legend.
Yeah, Ellis Burks is my boy. He used to work for the Rockies, so he's my guy. Torrey Hunter texted me. That was pretty cool. I had a few guys, Adrian Beltre texted me, so it was cool, man.
That was your guy growing up, right?
Yeah, he was my favorite. So it was cool. A lot of these guys are happy for me. Those three were pretty awesome.
What's your favorite story from your time with the Rockies that maybe was behind the scenes that we didn't see play out in public? Or your favorite memory?
Man, favorite memory. Man, I don't know. Probably going to dinner with Charlie Blackmon, DJ, Story, Mark Reynolds, the scout. So just like having dinner, hanging out with the boys, just talking about the game, or after a game, having a beer, just hanging out in the locker room, joking around, or talking about how terrible those at-bats were from us or whatever. Like, what was that? But just those things, man, those are the things like, you always remember and you always be thankful for, because those guys are awesome. You play with really good people. Dallas, it's when you play with people like that, sometimes you just don't play with them again. It's like 1 year and then they're out of there. So that's just the business. So you like just cherish those moments when you're around a lot of them.
Well, and you said you're already part of the group chat. You've already got that taken care of in St. Louis. What is going to be your first team building effort? Because I know how it's going to go. You're going to get there. There's going to be a dinner of sorts. There's going to be something that you're going to do to try to just show the folks, hey, all right, boys, I'm here. This is who I am. Let's roll. Do you have anything on your brain as of yet? Is it going to be a dinner? Is it because what Price bought everybody fucking scooters? I think he's done that a couple times.
Lackey has bought everyone suits
or like houses. Like he bought all of his teammates like a house in their neighborhood. Like, I don't know. What do you got?
I don't know. Dinner would be great if we're allowed to even go eat dinner. Like that'd be great. Meet with the guys and stuff like that. But I don't know. I thought about some different things. Spring training is kind of weird just because it's spring training and you can't really do a whole lot. But I definitely have some ideas. Dinner, find some things for the guys. I'm from Southern California, something with the beach or something like that. But
okay.
For sure, I got some ideas I thought about. But I think I'm just excited to join them. But I don't know, man. Maybe you guys can help me out with it.
You might be able to facilitate something. I feel like we should get Paul.
I don't know about the house thing, but everything.
We'll work up to that. I want to see Paul Goldschmidt in a shark tank, not a shark tank, maybe in like a shark diving in a shark cage. I want to see big ass Goldie swimming around with sharks. We can make that.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, he's the most calm guy I've ever talked to, so that'd be hard to do, but I think that'd be a pretty awesome idea.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you had the interaction with him? Because that dude is about as cool and calm and collected as it gets.
Yeah. Playing against him when he was in Arizona all the time and just watching him just rake. I just remember I'm like, because I would get mad, if I struck out, sometimes I just slam my bat. I'm like, this guy never gets mad. I just remember one day he struck out in Colorado, and I saw him slamming his bat, and I was just like, let's go, man. He does get mad. Like, I can't believe this. He's human. This is insane. No, but Goldie's the man. I can't wait to play with him. Can't wait to throw to him. I know he's gonna pick me up a lot.
Oh, buddy.
He's not gonna have to move. What are you talking about?
No, I'm not afraid to spike a couple in the dirt. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, it's very rare. I think I don't know if it was one of your first purchases, maybe with like your signing bonus or something. The van. Tell me about this van. What is the deal? What year is it? What did you use it for? What type of memories do you have with this van?
The van's 1974 Westphalia. Yeah. It's got a bed. It's got a fridge. I haven't slept in it yet, but
is this a new purchase?
What? No, I got it when I first signed. Signed. Yeah. Before I came here, but yeah, I have it at home in Southern California. I've gone surfing with it, bring it to the beach, bring it everywhere a few times, and it's been awesome, man. We're building a house, so we're gonna bring that van to the house here soon, so it'll be sweet.
Hell yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I was thinking about shipping out here, but I was like, man, if that thing breaks down, I'm so screwed on how I'm gonna fix it out here.
Yeah, that's the one that it just ends up getting left there. That's exactly what happened. Brian Wilson bought a Astro van on Craigslist, mind you, and had it delivered. It worked for about 2 weeks, broke down, just left it right where it was.
Yeah. No, I can't. I will not leave that thing. That thing is sweet.
I only have one more question for you before we let you go. We obviously know how talented you are as a baseball player, but I've heard a lot about your wiffle ball game, and I'm just curious. Do you want the smoke?
I mean, I absolutely do. I think both you and Dallas should come down Southern California. I'll get my group. We'll draft you two in it. Maybe Dallas might be a first rounder. Jared, you're like fourth, it looks like.
Literally, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm probably the best wiffle ball pitcher in the world. So I don't know.
You might be a non-draft free agent. We'll sign you.
I'll be. That's fine. I'll be the Mike Piazza of the draft. You can take me in the 68th round, and I'll be a Hall of Famer. That's fine by me.
We'll videotape it, and then we'll go. I mean, it gets pretty intense. I mean, we played all quarantine and legit fights and arguments. It was pretty bad. So
I don't legitimately, besides Alex Bregman, who knew what pitch is coming, and that's not a trash can joke. I promised to only throw him fastballs. I don't think I've ever given up a run in my life. So if you're able to square one up, I'll tip my cap, but I've just never seen it before.
I mean, I don't know. I hit lefty. I mean, I'm like Tony Gwynn / Barry Bonds.
Soft coming to the lefty. That's just no good. You better step on it.
You're gonna be pleasantly surprised or horrifically surprised is what I'm gonna guess is gonna go down.
Yeah, my boys would be fired up for that for sure.
Let's do it. All right, done deal. We'll table that discussion for the off season for some post 2021 baseball activity. But obviously, we thank you for being a 4-time guest. We appreciate you taking the time, and obviously best of luck this season. You're, as I've said every single time you've been on, you're my favorite baseball player. So I'll be looking forward to the 2021 highlight reel.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. I love joining you guys, man. I appreciate everything you guys are doing too. So Barstool awesome. So
thank you, man. Appreciate it. And good luck out there. It's going to be tough playing third in St. Louis with Jared legs, but I know if anybody can do it, Nolan, you can do it.
You can do it. You can do it.
Come on, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man.
Boys. Later, man.
Later,
brother.